Hello friends, I welcome you all to our channel Board and Beyond. So friends, in this session what we are going to understand is that we are going to understand these three things, okay, these 5 points basically, and I have written it very small, so I'll just read it out for you, okay. So friends, what we are going to understand is that we are going to understand what are the three major measures of central tendency, that is mean, median and mode, and how do we find it for a grouped data, right? Okay, so there are three different methods to find mean for the given data, group data I am talking about, okay. So that is basically direct method, assumed mean method and step division method, right? So we will cover all the three different methods of, to calculate mean for a given set of grouped data, right friends? So what I have done here is that let me first give you an idea, or else first I will take up a sum, and then during the sum I'll explain you what is the process of arriving at the formulas of taking out a mean for group data, that is by these three methods, that is direct, assumed mean and step division method, right? So to make it simple or to make it quick, what I have done is that I have already taken down a question on the board, right? So this question is that it says that the table shows below the daily expenditure on food for 25 households, right? So we are expected to find the mean daily expenditure for these households, right? So let's start doing it, friends. So we see that first of all we see that these class intervals, whatever is given to us, that is 100 to 150, 150 to 200, 200 to 250, is all continuous, right? There is no gap, okay? So if all this is continuous, then it is called exclusive series, right? Please mind it, exclusive series. Right friends? Okay. If it is not continuous, in certain scenarios it will not be continuous, right? So in that case, that is called as inclusive series of data. So my first job or our first job is to convert that inclusive series into exclusive series of data before actually attempting to solve the problem, right? So this is one point which I wanted to actually highlight it to you, okay? That is, this is exclusive series of data. And friends, in the examination sometimes they will ask you find out the arithmetic mean for the given data, right? So please don't get confused. Whatever mean we are taking out here is arithmetic mean. Of course there are different types of mean: arithmetic mean, geometric mean, simple harmonic mean, root mean square, all that. There are somewhere close to 16 to 20 means, but we will restrict our study here to arithmetic mean, okay? So please don't get confused. Arithmetic mean is nothing but the mean which you take out here, okay? That is using all these three steps: direct, assumed and step division method, right friends? Okay, so this is also called as arithmetic mean. I just wanted to highlight these 2 points to you before actually I start solving the problem. Now let us come on to the problem, friends, okay? So solution. The first one, that is direct method. In this direct method, what do we do is that, as you have already seen, it is nothing but sigma I ranging from 1 to n xi fi divided by sigma of fi, right? That is what it is. So let us try, let's represent the table in this format first. So this is daily expenditure. I will just write daily expense, and this is number of household. My second column, right? Okay. So how many entries? 100 to 150. 200 150 to 200. With the same problem, friends, what I am going to do is that I am going to take out all the three methods. That is, I am going to take out the mean of this problem with all three methods, whatever I told you: direct, assumed mean, and step division method. Sorry, 250 to 300. Then 300 to 350. Right? And this is 4, 5, 12, 2 and 2. So friends, here see, one thing is that whatever we have got, that is this is in the form of a class interval, or you can say this is a grouped data, right? So what I am going to do is that first I am going to find the class mark, right? I hope everybody knows what is class mark. Class mark is equal to upper limit of the class plus lower limit of the class divided by 2. Right? So let's extend this table. So class mark, this will be our xi and this is our fi, right? So class mark is nothing but sum of these two, that is 100 plus 150, 250 divided by 2 is nothing but 125, right? This is 350 divided by 2 is 175. So it's maintaining a gap of 50. So 225 and 275, okay, and it is 325, right? Last one we will cross check. This is 650 divided by 2 is 325, that is correct. So I have got fi, I have got xi, then what I will do is that I will get xi into fi, right friends? And we will write in this column. So 125 into 4 is how much? 500. 175 into 5. Okay? Right? 875. 225 into 12. Okay, 225 into 12. Fine. We can do it here somewhere. 2, 2, 5, 12. Plus 5, 9, and then all the 3, 2 to the 4, 4 plus 2, 6, then 2, that is 2. So 2700. Okay. Now this is 550. Right, friends? Yes. This is 650. Right? So we have got xi, fi, right? Now what we are going to do is that we are going to sum this all up. So I write sigma here. Sigma xi, fi will be how much? Sum of all these. 5. 5275. Right friends? Now sigma of Fi will be how much? 4 plus 5 9, 9 plus 12 is 21, plus 2 23, plus 2 25. Anyway it was given in the question only, 25 households. Okay. So now arithmetic mean, that is x bar, is nothing but sigma I ranging from 1 to how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1 to 5 xi fi divided by sigma I ranging from 1 to 5 fi, which is equal to 5 to 7 5 divided by 25, right, which is equal to 2 carry over 2, then 1, again 2, and then again 1, that is 211, right? So this is 211 rupees, right? So we have found out this to be 211 rupees. Now friends, see, there was a little bit of calculation here. So just to reduce this calculation, what do is that we assume a mean. Okay, out of this class mark we will assume one value to be the mean, and then we will find the deviation of all the other values of all the other class mark with respect to that mean, how well it is distributed. Okay, so for that what we will do is that we will find out di, which is equal to xi minus a. Right, now before actually calculating this, I must assume a mean. So let us say this is gap is how much friends? This is equal to, gap is equal to 200, 200 divided by 100, 200 divided by 2, that is 100. So 100 plus this, let us assume this as, this value as assumed mean, right? So a is equal to 2 to 5, right? Now for every value of xi we will find this, right? So this column is di, so xi minus this, that is 125 minus 225, which gives us minus 100, right? 175 minus 225 gives us minus 50, correct? 225 minus 225 gives me 275 minus 225 gives me 50, and this gives me 100, right? So I have got one more column now. Then what we will do is that we will make another column which we will call it as fi di, right? Fi di, that means this value multiplied with the frequency, that is fi, right? So this becomes minus 400, and this becomes minus 200, this becomes of course 0, this becomes 100, okay, and this becomes 200, right? Then friends, what do we do is that then we will sum this all up. I will find out the sigma here, sigma fi di, right? So this is positive 300 and negative 600, so negative 300. You got it? This is minus 600, summing this two up. This is plus 300, so minus 300. Now that assumed mean, assumed mean is given by x bar is equal to a plus sigma fi di divided by sigma fi. Okay, I'll take up the derivation next because there is no space on the board, so I'll just derive it for you. It's nothing pretty straightforward. It's there, available in your textbook as well, right? Okay, so this so a is our we can just actually substitute it here. I hope this is getting covered. Okay. So x bar will be equal to 225. We assumed it to be the mean here, 225, right? So let me do it here and then rub it off. That is better idea. So x bar is equal to 225 plus minus 300, right? So minus 300 divided by this. How much? 25 sigma of Fi. So this will be equal to 225 minus this is 25. So 1 time 5 2 times. So that is equal to 1 second. A plus sigma Fi di 400, 200, 100, 200, right? So this is sigma Fi di is 300, 600. So minus 300 divided by 25. Okay. So that is equal to 213. Right? Okay. 1 second, hold on. There is a small correction here, friends. This is 250. I'm sorry. Okay. So this becomes negative of 650 plus positive of 300. So negative of 350. Right? So this is negative of 350 here. So now this value will change. So 350 divided by 25. So that is equal to that is equal to 1, and then remaining is 10. 10 is 100. That is 4. So this becomes 211 rupees. Okay. So we have seen that x bar with direct method is also 211, and assumed mean method is also 211 only. I just write the answer here. X bar is equal to 211. Right? And I'll wrap off this one because I want to extend that table. Right? So friends, till now we have come here, right? So now what we will do is that we will proceed further and use the step division method on the same problem. Right? So this will just give you an idea how. So for step division problem, what do we do is that we find ui, right? So ui, which is equal to xi minus a divided by h. Here h is what? H is the class interval. You can say class width or class height, whatever. Right? Now you see, friends, this can be represented as, this is xi minus a, we have already taken it out here, right? So no need of doing it again. So xi minus a, we can represent it by di divided by h, right? So this can be very well written as ui is equal to xi minus a divided by h, or is equal to di divided by h, right? So you can do it straight away here. This divided by your h is the class height. Height is nothing but 50, right? So this becomes how much? Minus 2. That is equal to minus 100 divided by 50, right? Class height 50. So minus 2. So this minus 1. This of course is 0 again. This is 50 divided by 50 is 1. This is 100 divided by 2 is 2. Sorry, 100 divided by 50 is 2. Right? Column. We'll make this column is nothing but FIUI. Right? Okay. So what we will do is that we will multiply these values with the frequency here. Right? So 4 into minus 2 is nothing but minus 8. 5 into minus 1 is nothing but minus 5. 12 into 0 is 0 only. 2 into 1 is 2 only. 2 into 2 is 4 only. Friends, are you able to observe like how these values, the bigger values are getting reduced to smaller values now? Okay, using different methods, right? So I will find out sigma of FIUI, right? So that is basically I'll add it up. So this is minus 13 and plus 6. So minus 7. Right? 6, 7 and 6, 7, 13. Right? So minus 7 we have got here. Now friends, what we will do is that the formula for, I think I have space here, I will use it here. Okay. The formula x bar using the step mean is given by a plus, you can say u bar into h. Okay. Or if you want to represent a plus h into sigma of fi ui divided by sigma of fi. Right? So u bar is nothing but mean of this u, which is nothing but this divided by this value. Right? Sigma of this divided by this value. Okay? So we will put it inside a bracket. I'll do the derivation next. Please don't worry on that. So h into sigma of u fi ui is nothing but minus 7 divided by fi is nothing but 25. Right, which is equal to a is nothing but our assumed mean, that is 225, plus h is nothing but class height, that is 50, into minus 7 by 25. So this we can write 225 minus 350 by 25. Right? So yeah. So this is equal to 1 time 10, 100. So 4. So this is equal to 225 minus 4, that is 211 rupees. So friends, you saw, like for all the methods, okay, that is your direct method, your assumed mean method, and your step division method. Right? This is step division. Step division method. All the three methods fetches you the same result, right? That is your mean is equal to 211 rupees only, right? So this problem demonstrates us how when we are finding out mean for certain high values data in the sense the data which has got large number of values, then it becomes difficult for us. See, I am calculating with 5275 and then dividing it like this and getting this. But here just I am calculating what you know. This is 350 divided by 25 here. Okay. And here again that 350 still got reduced to 7. 7 divided by 25. Okay. So this was the illustration to use all the three methods on a same problem. Right friends? So with this we will move forward. We will take one example. Okay. Take one problem. Then what we will do is that we will find out a mean on that problem. Right? Okay, we will find out a median on that problem and we will also find out a mode on the same problem. Right? Okay, so I'll just clear off the board now. Yeah. And the problem is very well available in your textbook. I'll just read out the problem here. Okay, you can basically correlate. Oh, okay. Sorry, I said you that I will basically derive the formula for you. Okay. So friends, direct method we all know. Direct, and then we will move on to that problem. Direct method, mean is equal to x bar is equal to sigma fi xi divided by sigma fi. Right? We all know this. Correct? Now, there comes second. This I hope you understand, no? This total, let's say I am talking about marks scored by 10 students. Right? So, the total marks will be class mark into the number of marks which the student have got in that category. Right? In that class interval. So, this is a mean. Now, assumed mean method, assumed mean, right? Assumed mean method is nothing but in this we assume a mean. let us assume the mean is equal to A, right? Now what do we do, friends? Here we find the deviation of the other class marks with respect to this assumed mean, right? That deviation we call it as D, right? So similarly it will be Di and I ranging from 1 to maximum number of observations, right? So here X bar is given by A plus Fi Di by Fi, right? So how did we actually arrive to this, right? So basically we can prove it like this. 1 second. The dust is going. So see what we know. We know deviation, that is D I is equal to X I minus A. For all the situations, deviation will be this, right? So the mean deviation will be what, friends? Mean deviation, that is deviation bar, okay, will be nothing but summation of Xi minus A divided by summation of Fi. Will this be the mean, right? Sorry, I have missed out one point here. Sigma of Fi, right? You got it? Sigma Fi Xi minus A divided by sigma Fi. Now what we will do is that we will open up the bracket here, friends. So D bar is equal to sigma Fi Xi divided by sigma Fi minus sigma Fi into A divided by sigma Fi. Now if we observe this clearly, this is nothing but your X bar, right? This is mean X bar. You can see from here. So D bar is equal to X bar minus, if this and this will get cancelled and leaving me with A, right? Now if we rearrange this equation, we got X bar is equal to A plus D bar, okay? Whereas D bar can be represented like this. The D bar can be represented like Fi Di divided by Fi. So at the end we can say X bar is equal to A plus Fi Di, sigma of Fi Di divided by Fi, right? So this is your assumed mean method. Now let us understand step division method formula. In this, okay, so what is Ui? That is Xi minus A divided by H, right? Now if I want to find U, mean of U, right? So this will be equal to sigma of Fi into Xi minus A divided by H whole divided by sigma of Fi. You got it? Why it is so? Because when I am finding a mean, I will divide it, I will multiply that, I will find out the total, that is multiplying with the frequency and then divide by the frequency, sigma of frequency, right? So which can be written as, on the top we can take 1 by H common, then leaving me with Fi Xi, I am opening the bracket as well, minus sigma Fi into A, the total divided by sigma Fi, right? So can we write it as 1 by H? See, when I separate this and this is nothing but X bar, right? Minus this and this is only A, and this is all equal to U bar, right? So U bar into H is equal to X bar minus A. So X bar is equal to A plus U bar H, right? Now u bar is what? This, right? So u bar can also be written as x bar is equal to a plus h, and u bar is nothing but sigma of fi ui divided by sigma of fi, and this is your formula, right? You can leave it here also, or you can basically when you are solving it, you will require this. You will require this term when you are solving it, right, friends? So this is three methods. Now let us understand, since we have reached here, let us understand the other two formulas also, that is median and mode, right? Because I am going to cover up it. I am going to take up a problem in which we will be using that. So let us understand that also here, and then move forward. That will make sense. Okay, so mode. For raw data, that is ungrouped data, we all know that the frequency which is occurring maximum number of times in an observation is called mode of that frequency, correct? But in a grouped frequency, grouped data, okay, the mode is given by a formula, okay, mode. In a group data, what we do is that first we seeing on that table or the observation given to us, we will not be able to identify, okay, that this is my mode. We can maximum identify that this is the model class. So my mode lies somewhere inside that class, right? Okay. So we can find model class at the max. Now mode is given by L plus F1 minus FO divided by 2F1 minus F0 minus F2 into H, right? So this is how mode is given. Now in this, what are the things? Okay, so friends, F1, first of all, L is equal to lower limit of a model class. So friends, what happens is you have decided what is the model class, then there will be two limits, one lower and one upper. So your mode is something plus to the lower limit. And what is something? That something is this, right? So lower limit plus this something will give you the mode of the data, right? So this is lower limit of the model class. Then F1, frequency of model class. Right? Now we have decided what is our model class. So what is the frequency of that model class? And F0 is frequency before that, F2 is frequency after that. Frequency of class before or preceding model class. Right? Then F2 is equal to frequency of class after model class. This is called as preceding and succeeding, but to make it simple, I am writing before and after, right? And H is nothing but class T. Right? So friends, this is all. Now, okay, one more thing. What you can do is, as of now, this becomes a little you need to memorize it, and this becomes a little difficult. You can see it. So friends, what happens is, when you plot the table, whatever is given to you, right, you get something like this. Let me just draw it for you. Right? Now your mode is what you know. Let us say this height. Your mode is this height, Okay, divide by this height plus this height. Got it? Let's say small h, capital H, right? So what I'm trying to tell you here is that your this value, what you see inside, okay, is like that only. Okay, this is F1, your model class preceding, the gap is here, right? And the class succeeding, the gap is here. To appreciate it very well, what you can do is that we will represent this, right? So what I am trying to tell you here is that mode is equal to, of course, lower limit plus f1 minus f0 divided by f1 minus f0 plus f1 minus f2. This is what I am trying to tell you, right? So this gap divided by this gap plus this gap, right? If you expand it, you will get the same thing, friends, right? Let me do that. This becomes 2fi minus fo minus f2. Did you get the same result? But this is more logical if you want to remember it. This is more logical. There is a logic behind it, right? This divided by this height divided by this height into the height of the class height, right? So this is mode. Now let us move on to median. Okay. So what is a median, friend? Median is basically a middlemost data around which all the other data are aligned. Okay. So what happens in raw data, we will be able to find the median very well, right? The centermost data. If it is odd number of data, then it becomes very easy, n plus 1 by 2, n plus 1 by 2th term, sorry. And if it is even number of data, then it is n by 2th term plus n by 2 plus 1th term divided by 2. That is mean of two middlemost terms, right? But in a group data, finding out a median is little different. Median for a group data. So what happens is, here we find cumulative frequency, right? And then find out a median for that. So the median is given by L plus n by 2 minus CF divided by F into height. Right, friends? So this is the formula. Now, what is n here? N is nothing but cumulative frequency divided by 2, right? And what is CF? N is nothing but total number of observations you can write. That would be still more logical. Total number of observations. This is more logical. So cumulative CF. CF is cumulative frequency friends, CF is nothing but cumulative frequency up to the median class. Okay, here also we will find the median class. Okay, what happens is total number of observations divided by 2, and in which class that is lying, that is my median class, right? Okay, the class just after that, okay, is the median class. Now CF is nothing but cumulative frequency up to the median class. That means you don't have to include the median class, right? Up to. Okay. Now F is frequency of the median class. Right? Okay. H is H, we all know it is class F. Right? So this also we will be using. Now we will move on to the problem which I was talking about. We will solve that problem. We will find out everything with that problem and understood entire concept with that problem. Same problem, single problem. Right? Okay. Right, friends. So what I have done here is that I have taken on the problem. I have not taken the wordings of the problem. Okay. So this I'll just read it out for you. It says that in a retail market, fruit vendors were selling mangoes kept in boxes, kept in packed boxes. Right. These boxes contained varying number of mangoes. The below is the distribution of mangoes according to the number of boxes. So number of mangoes and number of boxes. Find the mean number of mangoes kept in the packing box. Right? So this is the problem. Now friends, what I have done is that I have just taken on the questions like this, and then we will start solving it now. Okay? So let's solve it now. So friends, the first thing which you must observe here, that there is a gap in the class. It is 52, 52, and next lower limit is 53, not 52. So this is which kind of series, friends? This is inclusive series. So first, to make it exclusive, what we do? We find the gap, that is 1, divide it by 2, okay, and then distribute that among all the class intervals, right? Okay, something like that. So now let us class interval. Let us revise the class interval, right? So that gap is 0.5, right, friends? So when the gap is 0.5, what we are going to do is that we are going to subtract 0.5 from the lower class limit and add 0.5 to the upper class limit, right? So this makes it 49.5 to 52.5. Next start will be 52.5 only. Already reduced here 0.5. You are able to see this is 55.5, right? Already added. Now this is 55.5 to 58.5, right? So this is 58.5 to 61.5, right? 61.5 to 64.5. I hope you got. This is the class interval, basically revised. Now, once we have got this revision, then we will find out xi, that is our class mark. Class mark. Right? So xi will be nothing but this plus this divided by 2. Okay. One more thing I will tell you. Either you do this plus this divided by 2 or you do this plus this divided by 2. Both are same. Right? So how much it is? So it will be 51. Right? And this will be how much, friends? This will be 54. It's maintaining a gap of 3. So 57, 60 and 63. Right? So this is my class mark. We already know our Fi is this. Right? So we can find out Xi Fi. Right? We do that. Xi Fi, that is this into this. So 51 into 15. 51 into 15. Okay, we can do straight away. 15 1 ja 15, remaining is 1, 15 5 ja 75, and 1 is 765, right? Now this into this, quite easy, 54 into 11, that is 4, 5 plus 4 is 9, 5, 0. 135 into 57, okay, let me do it here. 135, 0, 5, 7, 35. So this is this, okay. Cover this please. 46. Then 2, 2. So 5, 9, 6, 7. 7, 6, 9, 5. Correct, no? Yeah, 7, 6, 9, 5. This into this, quite easy. Right? Okay. 25 into 63. Okay, we can do the same way. 63, 25, 15, 36, 1575. Right. Okay. So I'll write this person off. Now, what is happening here is that xi fi we have got. Now, direct method. Direct method will be nothing but sigma of fi xi, right? That means sum total of all this. Let's do it. 5 plus 5 plus 5, 15. Remaining is 1. One second. 1 second. Two, right? I missed it out. So 22875. So mean will be how much? X bar. Let me write it here. X bar is equal to 22875 divided by. Okay, this is not totaled up here. Okay, let us do that. 5 plus 5 10 plus 5 15 plus 5 20 2 plus 1 3 plus 1 4 4 plus 3 7 plus 1 8 8 plus 2 10, remaining is 1, 2, 3, 4, 400. Right? So 22875 divided by 400. Okay? Definitely we will be able to cancel with 5. Okay, I think one more. (915) by 16. I don't think I'll be able to cancel it anymore. So 915 divided by 16. Right? So let me do here. So we will consider 57.19. So 19. So we will round it off to 57.2 and leave it here. Right, friends? Now let's move forward and then try to find out the second mean method, right? That is what? Assumed mean. So let us assume a mean here, right? So class mark is this, right? So 51 and 63, right friends? So 51 and 63. Okay, do we need to? No, we have already seen that, right? So we will move forward, friends. So we are not going to take up this one. What do you say? The second two methods of finding out the mean here. Okay, we have just found out the mean. Now we will move on to median and then to mode, right? Okay. So first to mode. So for finding out the mode, the frequency we can see here, which is the highest here, friends, out of this column. Okay, so this is highest. So let's say this is my model class, right? And this is the maximum frequency, right? Now we all know what is the formula for mode. Mode is equal to L plus F1 minus F0 divided by 2F1 minus F0 minus F2 into H, right? So F1, that is frequency of the model class, that is equal to how much? 135. First of all, lower limit of the model class, I have to consider this, not this. Please pay attention. This is 55.5 plus, that is F1, that is 135, minus frequency just before the model class, that is 110, divided by 2 into frequency of the model class, that is 135, minus just before 110, just after 115. Class height, how much? This 3, class height is 3. Right? We need to actually solve this to find the answer. Let's do that. This becomes how much? 25. So I'll just do it here and then write the answer down here, okay? So 55.5 plus this is we can say 25 on the top, divided by this is 270 minus 110, that is 160, minus 115, that is equal to 45. Got it, friends? Okay, so 55.5 plus 45. Okay, so now we can say this is we can cancel it, 15. So 25 by 15, we can write it is 5 by 3, correct? So taking an LCM now, or we can convert it into decimal, no problem. So 5 divided by 3, so that is 55.5 plus 5 divided by 3 is 1, 2, 1.66. So let's say 1.7. Right? So let's add it up. 57.2. So mode is 57.2 for this data. Even the median was also same, right? Now I'll remove this calculation part of it. So mode we have got. This is my model class. Now coming on to the median, friends. So for median, what we have to do is that we have to take the cumulative frequency. Yeah, we can. Okay, we'll just take the cumulative frequency. So friends, what happens is frequency here is 15. Okay, so this will be 15. 15 plus 110 will actually come here. That is equal to 125. Right? 125 plus 135 will come here. That is equal to 0. Correct? Now 260 plus 115 is how much? 375. 375 plus 25 is 400. The cross check is that this value and this value should be same. If it is not, then something wrong. So we have got the cumulative frequency. Now this is n by 2. Let us understand n by 2. Let's do n by 2. N by 2. That is equal to how much, friends? 400 divided by 2. That is equal to 200. Now we have to identify the class in which this 200 will actually lie, right? So 200 is nothing but somewhere in between this and this, right, friends? So we will consider this class I am talking about, this has to be the median class. Okay, so this is also my mode and median. Both classes are same, mode and median, right? This is my model class also, this is my median class also, right? So once we have identified the median class, then we can actually apply the formula and get the result. So median is given by L plus n by 2 minus CF divided by F into H, right? So L is nothing but the lower limit of the median class. So this is my median class, right, friends? This is my median class. Let me median class. Okay, so lower limit of the median class, consider this only, 55.5, right? Plus n by 2 is nothing but 400, right? Sorry, 200. Here it is. Minus frequency up to the median class. Frequency up to, that is here. Cumulative frequency up to the median class, that is 125. Divide by frequency of the median class, that is nothing but 135. Right? Please, this is only the frequency. This is not a cumulative frequency. Please understand, my friends. This is not cumulative frequency, right? So divide by 135 into H. H is nothing but height. Height is nothing but 3. Right? Okay. So we can solve it. 55.5 plus this is 75 divided by 135 into 3, right? So we can cancel it here. 15, 27, 9, okay? So 15 by 9, which is equal to 5 by 3, which is equal to 5 by 3. Oh, we did just now, no? 1.66 or 1.67. So 55.5 plus 1.67. This is get covered. Okay. So our mode is nothing but sorry. So this becomes 7. Okay. So 57.17, or we can say 57.2. So median is also 57.2. Right? So 57.2 is nothing but number of mangoes, right? Everywhere number of mangoes. This is again 57.2. Right? So friends, what we see here is that for this problem, okay, my mean, my median, my mode, all three are almost roughly same. What does it signify? This signifies that this is basically a perfect data or symmetric data. If you plot it, okay, let me just show you. If you plot it on a graph sheet, you'll get something like this. And this value is mean, median and mode, and this all will be equal to 57.2, right? So your this will look something like this. This will be a bell-shaped structure, okay, and which will be equally distributed along the y-axis, right? It will be equally distributed, right? This is called as a symmetric data. For symmetric data, your mean, median and mode all will coincide. It is not skewed. It is symmetric, right? You can correlate. Now friends, there is one more important thing which I wanted to tell you, okay? So it's an opportunity, let me tell you, okay? So we have seen mean, we have seen different methods to find mean, we have seen median, we have seen mode, okay? So the mean, the plus point with the mean is that it uses all the data in the frequency table. That is a plus point. The negative is that it is influenced by the outliers. Outliers in the sense sudden spike, either high or low. It is influenced by that. Okay, that is the drawback. Coming on to mode. The minus point is that mode doesn't use all the data. For an example, when I am finding out mode here, you see, I am only restricted to these values, right? And this all is nothing but a model class and a class previous to that and a class after that. What about the rest of the data? It doesn't include that. This is basically a drawback of mode, right? Now, talking about the plus point of mode. Plus point of mode is that it gives more realistic data. It is not influenced by the outliers, okay, which comes in the end, sudden spike. It doesn't get affected by that, okay, because it concentrates wherever the maximum frequency is happening. Concentrate on that, why it is happening, and try to derive the result from that. That is how it works. Coming on to median, again, the plus point is that it doesn't get affected by the outliers, but a negative is that this median is nothing but again concentrated in and around the median class. It is concentrated in and around the median class. It doesn't use the entire data given to us, right? So sometimes this can be misleading. You're getting my point, right? Sometimes even this can be misleading, and when there are outliers, your mean can be misleading, right? So these are basically pros and cons, right, friends? So probably I think I have added value to your knowledge or education today. Okay, I am not going to take up all the problems of your textbook, friends. Okay, I took just 2 problems and tried to make you understand the entire concept of measures of central tendency here. Okay, mean, median and mode. How do we use different kinds of formulas and different types to find, different methods to find mean for the same problem. So just 2 problems I have given you the entire concept, right? Because in this chapter what I understand is that there is nothing much creative that you can do about it, right? There is nothing much creative which you can do about it, right? It's all basically on formulas. Okay, you know the formulas, you substitute the values, you get the answer. That's it. Only thing is that I wanted to tell you certain concept, that the mean which you take out here is an arithmetic mean. Please don't get confused in the exams. And one more thing, there can be two type of data given to you, either exclusive or inclusive. If it is inclusive, make it exclusive like this and then solve the problem. Okay, otherwise the things may go wrong. Okay, maybe you may escape if you have to find just mean, but if you have to find median and mode, you will not escape, because this value will change. You are able to see me? The lower class limit will change. This, if you are finding out a mean and median without doing this, then you are gone. This will be wrong. You are getting it? So if it is not inclusive, make it exclusive like this. Depending on the gap, divide the gap by 2, okay, and then to the lower limit subtract that value, to the upper limit add that value. This will become continuous for you, right? So here the gap was 1, so I have taken 0.5. If the gap is 2, then you have to take 1, right? So then it becomes 49 and this becomes 53, right? And then so on and so forth, right? So mode can be taken out for class intervals which is not regular, but we will not consider it here, right? We will consider only up to the whatever is there in the syllabus, right, friends? So I think with this we can wind up this session, and the next session will be certain examination problems, okay, on mean, median and mode, measures of central tendency, right, friends? Till the time we meet next, that's it for now today. So I'm closing the session. So till the time we meet next, be happy, be safe, keep learning with us, stay tuned with us. God bless you all. Study well. Thank you. Make your parents proud. Thank you. Bye.